Oh, hey folks, Serve here, and welcome back to more Touhou Souzinengi V. Yeah, I actually said it right this once. This time. Anyway, a couple things you need to understand about this game, and I don't need a tutorial to tell me this, even though I probably could use a refresher. So, things you gotta know about this game. There are no consumable items. This is all purely equipment and skills. And there are a couple of things installed inside the game that'll kinda help you out with the problems that you feel like you may have. So, for example, right now, whose equipment are we looking at here? Sorry, whose equipment are we looking at here? Here we go. Well, of course, characters have their equipment, obvious, and they have their stats and affinity. Now, as far as the sword goes, well, I could probably put it on Reimu, depending on her, well, weapon types. And every character has a couple weapon types they can use. So, for example, if we look at augmentation, this is essentially your skill points. So every character has a couple of skill points, and you don't have to worry about spending them. You can always respec at any given time, so it's fine in the menus. So, Reimu can use swords, spears, purification rods, that's unique to her, staffs, and then of course there are flat stats you can increase as well, and for each point you can kind of see, you can unlock a couple of different things. For example, if we're putting points into Exorcism Sign, she gets, well, flat stats, primarily flat stats. Magic attacks at the bottom, ignore magic defense. And this is also how you get a couple of other things. Like, let's see. Just a bunch of things that you could probably do based off of, well, what you prefer in your preference. Now, Reimu is primarily light and yokai extermination skills, and defensive, so she has barriers. So she's got some damage mitigation. Marisa is DPS, some elements in Stardust. Lasers, I think, falls under her, what's the word? It falls under her Mystic element. Sana is primarily buffs and heals. I forgot what else. Like, yeah, a lot of these are focusing on her buffs and heals. And as I said in the previous video, Aya is, well, not so much on the damage side, but more so turn manipulation. So you'll like Aya, depending on what you need for your team. So, just front-loading this out of the way now. So you've got that. Equipment, skills. Skills is self-explanatory. You can, as you level up, you can kind of go ahead and interchange skills that you get as time goes on. We'll go over that as we go. And then we have, I already went over augmentation and formation. Formation is just exactly as the tin reads. It's your party formation. So how you want them to position based off of a preset, and then depending on their position will highly just depend on what benefits they get. So freeform is just speed up for everybody. And then you have, well, as you can see here, front line gets attack up, rear line gets defense and speed up, and that just highly depends on how you want to play. I play primarily in freeform for the time being, because more often than not, well, at least in the early game, you don't need to worry about it too hard. Maybe later on you're going to need to mess with formations, but that's not something I know yet. Alright, that's out of the way. Let's punch through a few things, shall we? I don't remember enemy vulnerabilities early game. One thing I should note to you with the combat in the game, especially early game, it's very, very simplistic, so I wouldn't worry about it too hard. Can't see. Oh, by the way, blind is very punishing in this game. If you take a blind, the game doesn't fuck around, by the way. If you take a blind, that's gonna get annoying fast. So, as noted here, when battle ends, your HP will be fully restored. That's why we don't have consumables. And you'll recover from permanence. Permanence is essentially just debuffs, so think of it that way. You'll also revive if you have lives remaining. However, your MP, bombs, and lives will stay as they were. Okay, so, and of course, to recover, you just need to either leave the dungeon or find a magic circle to recover. Simple enough. So that's why we don't have consumables, and as you can see on the bottom, bombs is essentially, well, your bomb skills, and how many you have. And lives is, well, as the tin reads, lives. If a character is knocked out, they will be knocked out for the fight, but when the battle ends, they'll be back up on their feet because of their remaining lives. Axe, I forgot who can carry that. But For a lot of the early game, I don't pay attention to alternate gear, because more often than not, you can get by, well, depending on what you feel like doing. For me, I'll stick to a character's basic weapon tier, unless I have a reason to use something else. Due to the nature of the game, I don't necessarily see any need to use skills early on. We can just mash up on the auto attack and honestly not care. We're fine. Now, as far as last word goes, ooh, free item. As far as last word goes, you will see, well, you can use it, and it'll show you its consumptions as well. It's your last word, no need for NP, and it'll also just show a couple of other things. We hold L. I did not set L. Whoops, I'll do that afterwards. But, you know, let's just show it. This is a field buff, I believe. Yeah. Hers is a field buff. There's nothing to talk about with that, unfortunately. It's literally just a field buff. And Aya's is really good for a last word because it's double strike, or just 2 turns. So, hers is very nice. Damn. It's no wonder I'm having trouble earlier before anything else here. And we'll just see this, for example. When a character gets knocked out, they are, well, knocked out of the fight, obviously. Yeah, this is the funny thing about this game, too. You're going to realize that it's kind of not fucking around. It's kind of not screwing around, unfortunately. But Sanae does still get the EXP out of that, so we're fine. The game does kind of try to make things a little bit easier in some respects, and now you can see Sanae is at 7 out of 8. Careless KO, yes, but do I really care? No, not really. The early game is at least simple enough where you don't have to worry about it too hard. And just like with any other RPG, you have enemy stats and resistances, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. That rigmarole. So, at least for the time being, what am I doing on time? No? Okay. Sorry, I'm like trying to speed the early end of this game's front-loaded nature, because it's a lot to go through. Magician Staff, if you want to swap somebody over to staff weaponry, I don't, so we're fine. And of course, just like in other Touhou games, you can get back bombs or other stats as well. Everybody leveled up. You can see they picked up a few skills. So let's just check that a minute. For example, Marisa got something, I think? Yep. She got a nice skill. Single target. Rainbow didn't get anything. Rainbow has a little bit of support as well. So that's nice. Now, the thing I should bear in mind, you need to understand when it comes to a game like this, if I remember right, I'll have to look this up. When you look over here, Recovery Miracle versus Healing Miracle, to most video gamers, that's the same thing. But you have to actually read the red text on the bottom. This is HP Recovery. This is Perm Heal. Perm being permanence, so in other words, that's your status cure. For a game like this, you really need to, like, zero in on what all of your terminologies mean, or you're gonna get confused fast. Like, the very first time I played, that was basically what happened to me. I got confused fast. I'm like, what the fuck's a perm heal? I don't get it. What does that even mean? So, you know, get familiar with terminologies, and you'll be less confused, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I forgot what this does. What's this? This is the other half. Okay. You know, I don't remember where I should be exploring. But if you want it to be a little bit cheesy, you could just, especially after this first room is done, just run out like a punk, like I just did, and just run back in, and you're back up to normal. Because that was just room 1, so I don't need to worry about it too much. It's fine. And, well, this time we can just casually not care about the enemies. You know what I mean? I do want to go back down that way, so can we just... Alright. Anyway. Hopefully we can practice our enemy dodging a little bit, because I am absolutely shite at that. Saying it, I'm not good at enemy dodging. Not good at enemy dodging, but we'll manage. And shields. That's a whole nother story. I need to remember how it works. Certain tanky characters, specifically, are able to use shields, and that affects some of their mitigation. You know, we'll show this one, because I don't think we saw Buuuut yet, for the enemy. It just regens on turn, so there's not much to say about that. I don't know if I should go over the enemy bestiary. Well, most of this is very simple, so we'll just casually talk about it as needed. After all, this isn't exactly a playthrough. This isn't a walkthrough for me. This is me just trying to play the game and actually beat it, because I've never beaten this game. Which is a shame. It's a fun game. I really need to set that. Uno momento for a minute. I need to actually reset my controls, because that missing my L and R triggers is actually bothering me. I need that. Okay. That was a little bit for me, but probably just a moment for you guys. I ended up realizing that for some reason my controller's bumpers and triggers, for some reason, don't bloody seem to work on this particular setup. So I've set my left and right to my arrow keys on my keyboard. So unfortunately, this is just the way I'm gonna have to work with it. But I'm able to switch out of autosave and just manually save this way. So you know what? For recording purposes, and in the event that I screw up or something dies on my PC while I'm recording, we'll do the manual save and save myself a little bit of headache. Yeah. Let's move along. Let's move it along. At least, I think that should be all right. Yeah. Okay. I'm making okay time. Unfortunately, I have to do all of these dungeons in very bite-sized segments as much as I can. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna need to cut out a lot of excess combat. You understand, right? This is gonna take a while if I don't do it that way, unfortunately. And that's just more so my preference. I feel like that'll be at least better for my own sanity. Shield effects. Equipping shields won't raise your defensive stats. Instead, they'll trigger their defensive properties. Upon triggering, you will get hit with an enemy attack. These shields work... there are shields that work on magic too as well, not just physical. When you got something with no shield tag equipped, like a staff, you could still trigger your shield by using the defend command instead. Conversely, with any other weapon on, you can use a skill that says type magic. Your shield won't activate, so take care. Bottom line is, read. If you're trying to activate shield effects, read. This is what this game is gonna do to you. If you're trying to look for specific shield effects and you're gonna be reliant on it, read. Oh, this one's new. I forgot what these are weak to. Let's take a cheeky peek for a minute. Just for the hell of it. I don't remember what they're weak to. Ice. Okay, noted. To be fair, I should actually be using Aya's camera skill on these enemies for the bestiary. Oops. I'll do that some other time. We won't worry about it now, yeah? Okay, cool. Moving along. Okay. Moving along. He says as he gets into another fight. GG self. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me if my pacing is going to be very, very off-center for this particular project, because, well, again, I'm playing it blind. Mostly. So I'm not too sure how I'm gonna pace myself as far as, you know, as far as enemies and bosses is gonna go. Just a little tutorial. You can escape dungeons if you just press that, and then you can just get out immediately. Now here, this is important. Open that, and now we have a teleport to the beginning, I believe. And let's just make sure we save, because kind of a dingus. GG. Showing that off. Yep, we're back at the beginning. Easy enough, yes? Surely. Surely. Simple enough. Now let's just check my gear for the moment. I don't have anything... Oh, I forgot to equip Aya. I'm so sorry. Look, we spent a lot of time with you in the last project. You'll have to excuse that I'm not paying much attention to the Tengu. But, alright, let's take a look. And we have Patchy-mochi and Sakuya here in the library. Lady Patchouli, I brought you some tea. Ah, why thank you, Sakuya. This smells wonderful. What leaves did you use this time? It's a secret. What are you trying to act cool for? Blending tea is something of a hobby for me. I've been continuously tweaking my original blend in secret, and I've just finished it today. So I was thinking I'd have you try it, Lady Patchouli. Oh, you certainly get up to some interesting things. I'm excited to try it then. Here you go. Here you go then. My special Izayoi blend. Yes, thank you. Oh my, this is better than I expected. Well done, Sakuya. Thank you very much. In fact, it's so good, I can't help but wonder what leaves you used. Just what kind of blend is this? And then she's looking in her book. Let's see, how to actively identify tea blends. Is that really in there? By the way, Lady Patchouli. What is it? I've received a report from another maid a bit ago. It appears they've infiltrated the mansion. Oh my. By they, are you perchance referring to the Hakure Shrine Maiden and her group? That is correct. So she finally made her move. Is this in relation to the mist? Most likely. Incident resolution is her job after all. Everyone must be rather mad having their bodies being eaten away by this mist. I don't feel anything in particular though. Well, of course you don't. The mist only has effect on us yokai. My body is in shambles as a result. Are you alright? Speak of the devil. We've run into a troublesome pair. Excuse our intrusion. You're certainly a rare guest, Reimu. What business have you come for? You know exactly what I'm here for. We've come to apprehend Remilia. The mistress isn't here in the library. Yeah, I can see that. We don't have the time to deal with you two. We're just gonna pass on by. Hold it! Do you really think we'd let those with ill will intent towards the mistress pass? You know, in the first place, I thought our gatekeeper was supposed to be on duty. Ah, her. She was having a nap at the gate. That imbecile. She's absolutely worthless. The gatekeeper, napping. Unbelievable. I wonder how should I punish her for this. Now, Sakuya, control yourself. Yep, I said that backwards. That aside, the front door should have been locked. How did you get in? Or just how did you get in? We used the emergency exit. Marisa showed it to us. Oh, she's a blabbermouth. Hold on, wait. Why do you know about my emergency exit, Marisa? 'Cause I'm a regular guest, of course? No, don't you of course me. You trespass without permission and take my books, you damn thief. Uh-huh. Come on now. Don't be like that, Patchouli, we're fellow itches. Let's see, how to actively defeat the black thing in front of me. Now, please control yourself, Lady Patchouli. Ooh! The Witch of the Scarlet Devil Mansion versus the serial burglar. Their grudges have hit their peak and at last leading to their fated battle. The conclusion of the Scarlet Devil Mansion serial burglar story. My paper's gonna sell like hotcakes. I'm gonna write this down. That does sound interesting. Let me see it once it's finished, please. Oh, that's enough. Shut up already. Look, we've got business with Remilia. We'll cut you down if you stand in our way. That certainly won't do. I suppose you leave us with no choice. We'll protect the mistress, and I won't allow you to ransack my library any further. And dual boss fight. simple enough if I remember right, I believe. If you've done a little bit of leveling up, you should be mostly okay for this. I don't remember who has the higher priority to knock out first, so how about we just go after Sakuya, because Sakuya actually scares me. Sakuya kind of scares me, actually. It's because I know she's the physical damage dealer of the game. And you'll see what I mean in a bit. Do I have any buffs to help with that? Wait. Left. Yeah, that's normal. There's not much to say here. I think we're okay, but I kind of want to just... We should really just pile on the damage. There's kind of no point in... We could try for a sleep, can't we? I don't know if any of them are susceptible to permanence, though. I kind of want to check, though, but I don't. No, we'll go for damage. Forget it. We'll just go for damage. The best thing we can do right now is just pile on before either of them cause a lot of problems, which will probably be soon if I don't deal with one of them at least. I don't remember what Sakuya is weak to, so let's just try a little bit of everything, huh? Do I need to use any bombs right now? I don't. And of course, as you can see, there's a cooldown on skills, so you have to bear that in mind. How about we do this for Sanae, because she's incredibly squishy. Just so you know, she's kinda very squishy. Probably not necessary, yes, I admit, but it worries me a little bit. It's been a while, it kinda worries me, and... Okay, Midas is not down yet. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. What are you worried about? We're fine. Everything's alright. Although we do need to get Sanae back up. Sorry, Midas back up. Again, relatively simple fight, mostly. Is sleep doable here? I want to know. Can I just be a cheeky bastard here? And just hit sleep on her? No, I don't think she's susceptible to sleep. Nah, doesn't look like it. Okay. We're fine then. We'll just pile on the damage. Patchy-mochi herself is very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's very elemental magic oriented, so you expect to be putting up with a lot of nonsense. You know what? I'm curious. Can I just... Really, I can't perceive this, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you typically can't perceive boss fights, so... That's going to hurt. I'm pretty sure whatever she just did there is going to hurt. How about no? How about no? Let's not do that. How about absolutely not? Just pile it on right now before she kills us. Whenever you're playing an RPG and somebody uses concentrate or focus, you should be afraid. Maybe I'm overreacting, but you typically should be afraid. And everybody got some level ups. Maisa got some fire. And we got a buff for resistance. I think that's gonna be an important skill I'm gonna be using for a while. Because that's Aya's turn swap skill. Cute. There, we beat you. We're passing through here now. Ow. Fine. We won't stop you. That's surprisingly nice of you. Considering you're in cahoots with the culprit and all that, this is kind of weird. You have some sort of ulterior motive. Nice. We tried to stop you, and the and is... You look closely. Look closely. The and is just barely out of the text box. Oops. And you forced us to stand out. Yeah, I guess we did. Go see the truth with your own eyes. I don't need you to restate my plans to me. Come on, everyone. We're going to see Remilia. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, don't mind me. The Witch of the Scarlet Devil Mansion versus the Serial Burglar. I just figured out I'd summarize the showdown of the century that just took place. Oh? Call me the victor of the witches. Showdown there. Sorry. Call me the victor of the Witches Showdown in there, would you? Please don't forget to give me a copy too, Aya. Give me a break. Come on, let's get moving. And so we're on the second half of the dungeon. If you thought that previous area was big, don't worry, these maps get bigger and bigger. We finally made it out of that dusty library. We had to take the long way around, but we finally made it here. All that's left now is to reach Remilia herself. We beat the troublesome sickly girl maid. The culprit's all that's left now. Well, there's her sister to think about. There's her sister to think about too. Yeah, let's not think about Flandre. She's gonna kick our asses. I'll take out anyone who stands in the way of my our way with my Danmaku. Or in other words, she's just going to resort to violence. Such a Reimu thing to do. It's such a Reimu thing to do. Now, question is, where's the front door? Okay. That's front door, right? Yeah, okay. This should be the front door of the mansion. And if I'm remembering right, this is just the same room we were in, I think. Nope. It's literally just progression. Yeah, front door. Then what was that back there? I don't remember. Never mind. It's nothing. Right, that's my forgetfulness. Okay. Well, that should be pretty good for the time being, I guess. We did one half, so we'll just keep this as digestible as I can. Alright, hold on a second. Nerd! Okay. Anyway, this is Seraph. I'll see you folks in the next part. Have a good day. Boy, I sure hope my microphone settings were alright before I started this, or else I'll have to redo this whole thing. Oh boy.